What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another Battle Cry or Die D&D session. What? Super excited about it. I am your DM, JD Wizardly, in the house. And we have all these other folks who are playing with us. Super excited. I can't remember everybody's screen name. That's why I'm not saying.
I'm just gonna change my. I'm gonna give a tag to Scoutric. Just call me Scoutric and everything.
Yeah, there you go. Because I didn't imagine. Do you guys want to use your real names in game or in stream or?
I actually don't mind.
I don't care.
Yeah, I did.
All right, so we have Van here playing Ricard, Ron playing Skondrick, and Jordan here playing Roland. Super excited. Welcome, gentlemen. We're missing a couple folks tonight, so I'm hearing a little bit of side quest. Maybe. We'll see how it goes. We could work towards some things. So for those of you who are just joining us for the first time, we have been going through Horde of the Dragon Queen, 5e D&D module. It's been pretty fun. I've enjoyed it. By the way, finally got myself some artwork. Hope everybody at home who is watching is liking it. I did it myself, proudly. As I'm sure everyone can tell.
Did you use the 15 color box or the 32 color box?
That was actually made in Paint 3D. So I have no idea. Right. So it has been a couple of weeks. We apologize for missing our stream last week. Had a couple of unforeseen circumstances come up and kind of prevented us from doing the things that we wanted to do. So just to let everybody know where we are, our party arrived at Waterdeep and were arrested upon their arrival for some decisions that were made previously in the campaign, which, by the way, we're working on getting together some backstory for everybody so that you guys can kind of get caught up to where we are. So you can know where each of the various characters have come from and how they were brought into the campaign, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, so our party arrived at Waterdeep, was arrested going into Waterdeep or being taken into Waterdeep. Had a little bit of some consultation with some of the other NPCs in Waterdeep, and ended up in prison. Whilst being in prison, another particular character showed up. Someone from one of our parties passed, and helped the party to escape, except two of the characters who decided to lag behind. I'm sorry, one of the characters who decided to lag behind. And he was then taken off and interrogated by the council, and was led into the stadium in Waterdeep, where the rest of our party ended up after having found out that there was a planned execution of Ricard. The last thing our party having seen being a bright flash, and then after the brightness dying down, Ricard's lifeless body, seemingly, lying on the ground in the middle of the stadium. So that's kind of where we left off. Super fun, kind of a cliffhanger to be holding on to the edge of, especially for 2 weeks. That was rough.
Yeah.
All right, I am
Spud.
digging into some notes here.
So after witnessing that, Skaldrick has like a 50-yard stare. Just like, can't believe what he just saw.
Okay.
Only 50 yards?
I don't know the phrase. It was something like that.
I don't know. I don't know.
All right. Cool.
Is a high
So
lady nearby?
she did not join you guys. She has not followed you. So essentially, Roland and Skodrick, you guys are standing in and among the stands of the stadium. And she is not. She seemingly was left or left you guys at the gate, essentially, at the doorway as you guys made your way into the stadium.
I think we're in the stands, I guess. Yeah.
Mhm.
I rolled a 17 for stealth before we ended last time. I'm gonna try to see if I see anything. I mean, clearly Ricard just was seemingly executed. Does anyone or anything look suspicious? Can I make a perception roll?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, in fact, Skodrick, you can also make a perception roll if you'd like.
DM, is this the world gone black to me? Do I have any sort of sense about where I'm at? Am I at, what do I see?
Okay, so Ricard, seemingly, you're standing out in the field, in the middle of the stadium that you'd been led to, essentially blindfolded before you got there, so as to just kind of mask or hide what was going on. And as your hood was pulled off, revealing to you this large, this massive field in the middle of the stadium that you had been led into, with essentially a horde of wizards and sorcerers standing in front of you, with a few of those members being some that you had recognized, those from the council, and then they gave your judgment call, or they made their judgment call, etc. And then there is the flash of light. So after the flash of light happens, the world around you swirls for a moment and vanishes, and you are submerged into darkness, but only for a moment. As you're submerged into, or as you come from the darkness that you were submerged into, you kind of see yourself, not necessarily from in a sense of like
Out of body.
disembodiment, or right, yeah. Nothing in that regard, but you find yourself standing in the middle of this field, and the field is kind of flowy. It's got some tall grass. The breeze is blowing lightly, causing ripples to go across the tops of the grass. And as you kind of glance around, there, you see off in the distance there is a tree line. But it's quite a ways away, and that's really the only thing that you see off in the distance.
Can I start walking towards the tree line?
Sure, absolutely, yeah. So as you start walking, you begin to move your legs, and they seem a little bit slow, a little bit sluggish at first, but they then begin to normalize. But as you're walking, you kind of note that as you're moving your feet through the grass, where normally you would feel or tend to feel some sort of resistance from the grass, kind of like, especially with the grass being as high as it is, trying to like tread your way through. But in this case, in this instance, it seems as if the grass is almost moving around your legs as you're moving your legs through, almost as if it were alive, almost as if almost as if it recognized your presence and was moving around you as you made your way, as you progressed through the field. So Roland and Skodrick. So Skodrick, you see, you're looking out. There's this bright flash or whatever, and you see Ricard's body laying in the middle of the stadium. As you're looking down, you see this line of, and Roland, you see all these things too. But I'm going to get to what else you see here in a moment. So you see this line of wizards and sorcerers, whatever, and they all have put away or resheathed any of the mediums that they may have used to cast their magic in that instant, and they all begin to deform from the line that they were standing in. And some of them kind of get together into a group to kind of collaborate on things, while a couple of them you see walk over to where Ricard's body is. And essentially there are six sorcerers specifically that walk over to Ricard's body. And they motion. And as they motion, there is a handful of guards that begin to make their way from the stadium wall over to where those six sorcerers are standing. Now, Roland, as you're kind of scanning, you're looking for a bit more fine detail, just to kind of see what it is that you can see. Just to try and pick out those minute details, anything that might seem misplaced or anything that might give evidence to someone someone being there that's not supposed to be, or some other evidence of tampering or mishap, or and so as you're scanning, you're looking through this crowd of sorcerers and wizards that's kind of down in the stadium area, whatever, and you kind of slowly make your way down the stands towards the inner circle there, the inner circle of the wall that separates the stands from the field in the center there. And so as you're kind of moving in, you're glancing over, you're scanning over everything, and you're picking out details of all the sorcerers or wizards that are in the field are donning some sort of insignia or symbol or pendant or something. A couple of them have a cloak that's held on with a brooch, and the brooch has a specific shape. And the shapes that you're seeing are those of there are a couple that represent the harpers. There's like two or three of the wizards have some kind of pendant or brooch or something that has the harpers on it, the symbol of the harpers. You see a couple of them have symbols that are that of the gauntlet, and then you see a few of them that represent the nobility of Waterdeep, the council formulated by the nobility of Waterdeep. And so as far as the sorcerers and wizards are concerned, it doesn't seem like any of them are out of place as far as their apparel is concerned. Now, you did note that there was like one little group of sorcerers and wizards that kind of moved off to a group by themselves. And so they're kind of standing off to the side, collaborating amongst each other. So there was that one small group that moved over off to the side, and they're collaborating with each other. The six that moved over to stand beside Ricard's body, the rest of them have begun to make their way out of the stadium. Seemingly, they're approaching the stadium wall, and as they're approaching the stadium wall, there are some guardsmen that are seemingly there to escort them. So as you're kind of watching those that are being escorted, you do make note that there are two of them that are walking side by side, each of them wearing insignias of nobility of Waterdeep, or the Council of Waterdeep, and you note that one of them passes to the other a parchment, or a rolled parchment, and the other in turn hands to him a small pouch of some sort, a small leather pouch of some sort. And so you see this just as they're approaching the outer wall of the stadium, and then are accompanied by guard out through a doorway that leads to the outside.
I could clearly see who it was, but I just don't know who the people are, or is it?
So you don't recognize these people specifically.
Okay.
They're definitely nobody that you've seen in and among the dragon cult, or the various encounters you've had with them.
But if
They
I
don't
need,
look like anybody like that. They don't. They also don't. They don't resemble anyone who you may have known from your past.
well, I mean, the main thing was I was trying to make sure I could describe them to someone else. Like I could pull features from where I was. I could see like, oh, this is a half elf, or this is a, if I had to describe them to someone else, I would be
Okay.
able to do that. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. You could definitely pull
Okay.
those. You could definitely pull those. Pull those
Okay.
descriptions. So I'll
you-
just text you, or I'll just message you
okay.
descriptions on here.
And as far as Bard's body, you said that they're taking his body away now, or they're just looking at it, or
Right. So you see the guard, they've moved over to where Ricard's body is, and they have like this little stretcher type, this makeshift stretcher that's been formed by piece of wood tied together, wooden planks essentially tied together, or whatever, kind of formulating this stretcher type deal. And they put Ricard's body on it, and then lift him and begin to walk him towards a different doorway on the other side of the stadium.
Okay. I'm just gonna say, based on what I vaguely know about these kind of settings, or I guess what I know, that if I were to like follow the guys that had his body, like if I were to, that would probably be a mistake. Like they would probably be upset with that, or would I don't know if I would know that. I'm not sure.
Well, so given your history, you're not 100% sure in this particular circumstance, because this seemingly was a bit different than what you've typically seen with trials and judgments passed and things of that nature. And so the way that you feel about this is there is an air of uncertainty about the situation. And so you kind of get the feeling that perhaps it wouldn't be the greatest idea to make it obvious that was something you were doing, to not let anyone know that your intent was to follow this body to wherever they were going to take it to. But perhaps it wouldn't be difficult to be inconspicuous in being in the same place or heading in the same direction that this body is going.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna go back over to Skadrick, if I wasn't already over there, and if he's still just staring off into space, I'm gonna like jostle him, I guess, and be like, "Hey, is Kedron here too?" Just to make sure I understand. Okay, so it's Kedron,
Yeah,
Skadrick, and Atlas, all.
Yes.
We're all together. Okay.
Right.
All right. So I'm just gonna let the group know, like, what I saw, and then I'm gonna suggest that I guess they go find the High Lady, and Fela and forgot the other guy's name. It's my notes.
Kone.
Oh, Kone. Okay. Yeah. They didn't come in with us, did they?
You had not paid attention at first to see if they had followed you in or not.
Okay.
They did essentially, or you recall now that they had followed you up the stairs for a portion, but once you guys were guided out the door, you recognize that they didn't follow you guys out the door.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna suggest that they go find the high lady, and then unless they want to come with me, but I don't know if they're gonna be able to. If we have to like sneak around, if they're really gonna be the best suited. And Skodrick seems like he's out of it. So, I mean, unless Atlas wants to come, I guess. Seeing how you can disguise himself. But I'm not sure how we're gonna play that. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna suggest I go after Ricard's body just to see what they're doing with it. And unless someone has anything else that they want to suggest, Skodrick, I can tell you're not in the best place right now. But we're gonna get to the bottom of this.
His family deserves to know what he's done.
What do you mean what he's done? Like the crimes he was charged with, or that he's dead?
The
Like,
good he's done for this world.
Oh yeah, sure.
He shouldn't be killed like some criminal.
Yeah. I mean, I know. I'm not sure if we talked about this in game last time. Or if it was like right after the situation. Atlas and I were saying something about it seeming suspicious, like I guess this, the speed of which they did all this. But I'm just gonna reiterate that to Skodrick. Like, yeah, a lot of this didn't seem like it was above board. It seemed like it was kind of odd in which it was handled. Like, I'm not sure what's going on, but I'd like to get to the bottom of it. I'm not sure if you want to try to contact this family now, or like what were you thinking about doing?
So Ricard, as you're walking, you're kind of moving through the grass. You see the tree line growing from the distance or whatever. As you're kind of looking around or whatever, the light that's shining about you is kind of a strange hue. It's definitely sunlight, but there's something unnatural about it. Something that feels a little different, though it is a peaceful warmth that is kind of the aura that it's giving. And as you approach the tree line, you see leaning up against one of the trees on a shoulder this tall female humanoid. This long, kind of flowy hair hanging down. It's hard to tell specific features from the distance, but it's almost as if this person is waiting for your arrival.
Can I stop once I kind of acknowledge, I visually see the figure?
Sure.
And I want to stop and call out, Mistra? Am I dead now?
And the figure kind of looks for a moment and then beckons you to approach, and then kind of moves from the side of the tree into the forest.
I kind of grasp where the beam of light that the wizards, that the spell wielders fired at me hit, kind of grab that point at the center of my chest and just start walking in.
Okay. As you put your hand there, you do note though that your chest is firm. It's solid. It's definitely. There doesn't seem to be, at least in this place, any kind of feeling of damage done. Forget that my camera's high and I keep leaning forward just a little bit, and it's like, oh no, cutting myself off. Sorry, I didn't mean to break immersion there. So as you begin to approach the forest, and you see the delineation between where this grassland type area kind of ends and the forest begins. So like the grass, as you're traveling towards the forest, the grass seems a little more sparse, a little bit shorter, and there are some tree roots protruding from the forest into this grassland that are kind of causing breaks, causing the grass along the edges to be patchy. As you kind of step through the what would be the threshold of the forest, the trees kind of fade from your vision, and everything kind of becomes cloudy again for a moment. Skondrick and Roland, as you guys are kind of checking things out in that area, Kidron has taken a knee in prayer to Lathander. As you guys are looking around, Roland especially, you guys note that there is a single thin beam of light that shines down from the sky onto the ground in the inside the stadium, and just a shimmer of green on the ground shines there in the light. Kidron, looking as if he's gotten a particular warmth about him, a particular confidence, a particular, like his countenance changes slightly from that of something traumatic that he's just witnessed to an air of reverence, and he begins making his way down the stand towards where this beam of light is shining.
I follow Kudrin.
Okay.
Keaton, buddy, what are you doing, man? You just okay? We're just walking, I guess. All right, sure. Atlas, I'm not sure. I guess we're just gonna follow Keaton.
Atlas is like, yeah, okay. And then as you guys begin to move away, one of the guards kind of comes through the door from behind you guys and approaches, and he says, we are searching for Atlas. Is Atlas among you?
Who's asking?
Atlas turns around and he's kind of like, oh, I'm Atlas, but I'm kind of curious about who wants to know. And the guardsman is like, we've been given a message to deliver to you. I need you to come with me.
Again, who's asking? Who's requesting him? If you don't mind me asking.
Atlas is kind of like, yeah, I mean, Roland's got a really good point here. Like, I think that it would be really unsafe for me to just come off with you. And the guard looks at him and says, a message from the High Lady regarding your family.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you might want to go take care of that. I'm not sure what to do right now. So make up your own mind, Alice.
So, Ricard, as you're moving forward, this kind of cloud-like state has overtaken you, and the trees that were once very defined or whatever kind of come back into focus a little bit, but they kind of have an ethereal sense about them, and seemingly, instead of physically walking, it's almost as if you're floating along. You get the sense of weightlessness. You have this air of being light. You feel as if you're light. And you find that you don't really have to move your feet to proceed forward.
Is it? You said everything's kind of. Is there like kind of a fog? Is that kind of how I'm seeing it, or is it just?
Right. It's almost like this brightness that's kind of shining through. It's almost as if traveling through clouds. I don't know if you've ever been on an airplane and gone through a cloud and like looked out of the cloud or whatever. So that's kind of how it feels. That's kind of the sensation you're getting right now.
Okay.
So Kidron continues to make his way down the stands of the stadium or whatever, and he makes his way to the center wall. As he approaches the center wall, he finds a little gate or a break where he can move into the field of the stadium, whatever. And he kind of looks back and he says, "I believe Lathander's sent a sign." And he moves over to where this gate is that kind of separates the stands from the field. And he begins to kind of jimmy with it, trying to get it open.
I help him.
Atlas, looking over at you guys, he's like, guys, I know there's a lot of stuff going on here, but I think that it's probably pretty important that I go see what's going on with my family.
We're back and nod.
Okay. And then the guard, Atlas kind of nods back, and then he turns and follows the guard back out of the stadium.
Be
Roland, what
safe.
do you... Oh, and he says, oh yeah, you guys too. He's like, I know not all these guards are trustworthy, but I know there's probably a few of them that will be okay with them.
Yeah, just don't let this be like the last guard. Just try not to. I just look at the guard and go, if you can, maybe don't upset him on the way to where you're going.
And the guard kind of looks at you in confusion, and Atlas pulls out the skin, the sheepskin that he had that you noted he had poured the oil from before, and he kind of shakes it and he says, "Well, I always keep some just in case," and then tucks it back into his robes.
Good luck to both of you.
And they turn and then walk out of the stadium. Now, Roland, how are you proceeding from here?
This is kind of a bit. There's a lot of chaos happening in the last 2 days since I've been here. Party was supposed to be a, nice little experience. It's supposed to maybe solve some problems, go do some shopping or something, and meet some people's families, and everything's just gone to shit. So, on the one hand, I would like to, follow up with the Ricard situation. On the other hand, apparently the situation with Atlas's family that, is kind of seems like it could be important. Seems the High Lady is asking. There's the Dragon Cult that's just north of here. There's the whole Offney stuff. Oh yeah, and Trollum, which apparently she's just free to go and come as she pleases. Apparently, I don't know. I'm confused about the whole thing, and I'm just not sure what to do right now. Skadrick, you're following Keydron. I'm going to go with you guys for now and see what's going on with this situation. And yeah, we'll see what happens. just taking it all in.
All right. So Ricard, as you're kind of floating along or whatever, you feel for a moment that you've kind of lost direction as far as where this figure was. Like you've made your way, into the very beginning of the forest here, and the figure seemingly was gone. But then as you peer through the trees, as they're kind of, the trees are kind of vaguely defined. As you're peering through the trees, you see off in the distance or whatever, and you hear a whisper, "Ricard." And you look and you turn to where the direction of the whisper, where it did come from, and you see that same figure kind of standing off in the distance a little ways, and she beckons again, and then moves deeper into the forest.
Do I recognize the voice?
It's not something that you've heard audibly before, so it doesn't quite have the familiarity that you would hope for.
Okay. But can I roll an insight on it?
Sure. Yeah. The thing that you feel though is not necessarily so much like an afterlife sort of, but this from like stories that you've been told or some of the experiences you've had or whatever. This is very very reminiscent of the tone of voice, the way that the figure looks, very reminiscent of the Feywild.
All right, so I'm gonna hurriedly, like I know I'm kind of floating, I guess, kind of right now. It's not, but I'm gonna try and go as fast as I can towards her.
Okay. Yeah, certainly. Okay, so Roland, you've decided to follow the body. Skydrake, you're kind of following Kidron out of the stadium, right? Or not out of the stadium, but out into the field.
Yeah,
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, I follow Kidron.
Okay, so Kidron finally gets to the latch of the gate open, and you noted that as Kidron was kind of fidgeting with the gate, a very, very standard latch mechanism on the gate, something that isn't lockable. It's not something that is protective in any way. It's just like, a gate. But you noted that he had a little more of a struggle with it than he usually would.
I assist, but with like concern about him.
But yeah, sure.
Kind of looking sideways.
Yeah, as you look at him, as you're regarding his countenance or whatever, you know that he has a little bit of a dreamy kind of look to his face, almost as if his not necessarily his physical presence, uh, almost as if his focus is elsewhere.
What do you see?
And he says, I believe that Lathander wants to commune. He makes his way through the gate and he continues into the field where the beam of light, which now is no longer shining into the direction of where the beam of light was once shining.
I just nod and follow. I trust him.
So as you follow him, he reaches this one spot in the field, and as you note, you look down, or he looks down at the ground, and so you kind of look down to see what he's looking at, and from the ground there has sprouted one small stem with two leaves sticking off either side of the top of the stem, just something very small, but this is uh, the only plant in the middle of this field. This field is a combination of matted grass and dirt. It's been worn for decades. There's very very little grass in this area, and Kidron kind of gets to the plant and he kneels down and he says, I think that I need to stay here for a while. I believe Lathander is going to try and commune with me. And he kind of sits himself down on the ground, cross-legged, and then begins to pray for a bit.
All right. Is anybody watching us?
It doesn't seem that there are a couple of guards that are standing towards the outer ring, where there are doorways that lead out of the stadium field, out of the field into the stairwells and the passageways. So they're all kind of standing on the inside of the ring, looking in, seemingly watching everybody that's kind of involved or is doing something in the field, but none of them seem to take any particular interest in you guys specifically.
I kind of look over and just I pat him on the shoulder and I say, I hope Lathander can help. I'll pray to Bahamut. Someone's bound to help us. And I just go towards where they took the body.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So you begin to move that way, and none of the guards carrying Ricard's body seem to take note of you. They make their way out of a particular archway that's a little bit larger than the other passageways that you guys have seen into the stadium, or into the field of the stadium, and they're kind of carrying him through. And you can look. So in this particular portion of wall that separates the field from the outside, this particular archway has a large portcullis on it that's been raised, and you can see through the archway. It passes all the way through to the outside, where you guys or where you see a horse-drawn carriage waiting. The carriage kind of has like this bed on the back of it for storage, storage purposes. So,
is there anyone nearby that isn't a guard?
no, it seems that everybody else has kind of filed out in other directions.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll look to Roland. What's our next move?
Forgot I was muted. No, I would say, Scottrick, when did you start following? Anyway, yeah, I don't know. So you said the guards had taken him where right now? Where they're precisely?
So they're carrying this makeshift cot or whatever. They're carrying Ricard out on it to where this horse-drawn carriage is.
Okay, so we're to assume they're going to put him on the carriage.
I mean, that's up to you.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, we could ask. As always, I don't want to overlook the simplest solution. We could just ask them where they're taking him and maybe go there. Or we could try to follow them, but if they're in a carriage and we don't have anywhere to keep up with that pace, it's just going to cause problems. So I'll leave you to decide that. If you want to just ask them, I might be able to keep up with them personally. I'm not sure if both of us will be able to do it at the same rate or stealthily if we're trying to keep it secret.
Yeah, I'll just go up to the nearest person and ask, where are they taking him? Where are they taking the body?
So as you approach one of the guards as they're loading Ricard's body into the back of this carriage, he kind of turns to you and he says, specific request from the High Lady for the body to be returned for special funeral arrangements, I guess.
Interesting.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I'll start heading to the High Lady. Last place I saw her.
Okay. Did she say when the funeral is supposed to take place?
We don't have any other details aside from that.
Gotcha.
He says,
all right. And the location that he's taking them, he's telling us where that is, right?
Yes.
And did the guard that came for Atlas tell Atlas where to go? Or did he just say he's leaving him there?
Atlas followed him out.
So there was no discussion of a destination?
Right. Not that you know of.
All right, I'm gonna pull Skodrick to the side, out of earshot of the guard.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say it's a bit odd that she would take Ricard's body and then also ask for Atlas to come to a specific location to meet her somewhere, but then not ask for the rest of us to go if she had. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, this isn't really. I'm not quite sure what to make of all this.
I don't know. All I know is we have to find her.
Well, obviously, but I mean, we know where she is. I guess the guard does tell us where the body's going, correct?
Right.
Okay, yeah. So we know where the body's going. I'm assuming that's where she's going to be at. But I would really like to know if that's the same place that Atlas is going to be at, and if so, why wouldn't she invite it? Like, again, this is the part that's throwing me off. She hasn't tried to communicate with us at all since this happened. And yet she needs to talk to Atlas specifically about something going on with his family. And yet she's also scheduling things for Ricard's funeral. And I don't know if she's even contacted his family. Like, his family is in the city, correct? As far as you know?
As far as I know.
Yeah, this is all rather strange.
Maybe someone's watching over her closely.
So, Ricard, as you're floating through the forest or whatever, you see the figure step out from behind a tree off in the distance, facing away from you, and she steps into this opening in the forest where seems like there are beams of light that are shining down into this opening, cutting through the forest canopy. And in this, as you approach this opening, you see she has made her way to this stone structure. And at this stone structure, there are rings. There are like 3 rings of stone that kind of form steps. And it's probably about 6 foot, maybe 7 foot wide. And in the center of these stone steps, on the other side of it, the side opposite from where you're approaching, there's kind of like this obelisk that sticks up, pointing towards the sky. On the obelisk, you see a few different signs that you've recognized, a couple of different symbols that you've recognized that represent, gods or goddesses that are often worshipped by, those who have been to or reside in the Feywild. As you're kind of looking through or looking over where these the stone structure is, these rings that kind of form these steps leading up, in the center of them, there's this pool of this turquoise colored water that is a little bit brighter around the edges, but then as it kind of goes towards the middle, it darkens quite a bit. And as this female figure steps out, the light shines down on her, glistening off of her, what you now recognize as her naked body. And she,
before she, as the sun beams down and I see her figure, before it even hits and I realize that she's nude, I want to ask, who are you? Are you Mistra?
And she just turns, and in this dreamy, airy voice, she says, "Come," and motions for her hand, and then she turns and very gracefully begins to make her way up the steps and starts to lower herself into the water.
I follow.
Oh my God.
I wish Roland was there to make a joke.
Oh,
I wish he was here to hear
I
that.
wish he was dead to make a joke.
Well, I mean, just to be like, hey, this is typically when they tell you to do it when they're naked. They tell you, everything sounds right. I'm sure when Ricard tells me the story, like,
Oh, no,
exactly in detail when I ask him. Maybe
Right.
later he'll tell me this, and I'll make the joke then. It's fine.
I literally just shook my head and I go, it's a good thing Roland's not here to make the comment right now.
Oh my god. All right, so they've loaded Ricard's body into the back of this, and a few of the guards have climbed into the carriage itself. One of the guards sitting on the front of the carriage where the reins are. He sits up to the cart, and he looks over to you two, and he says, "Do you have business with the High Lady?"
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
I would have assumed yes, but apparently, I mean, again, she's not seemingly expecting us to show up. This is what I'm trying to understand. Skadrick, do you have the capability to communicate with her right now? No? Well, shit. And Keedron's just back there. I mean, what was he doing the last time you saw him?
He had he's praying to Lathander. You think he has a way to commune with him?
Oh, finally. Okay. Just all kinds of things happening today.
You took that a lot more lightly than I thought you would.
No. I was being as facetious as possible when I said that. The last few days have just been so just eye-opening.
Can we just ride along
I mean,
with you? Because she
you-
has a few items of ours that we would like to have back.
does she? She has them. She has them.
Well, she
With-
knows where they are. So
Of course, yes, yeah, all right. I mean, sure. Let's go see the.
You
Hi,
guys hear
lady.
a voice from within the carriage, and you guys hear a voice from within the carriage, and he's like, "Are we gonna get this thing moving or what?"
Is that Ricard? Is
Kind
he
of
alive?
thing.
Oh no, that's not his
yeah,
voice. Too
can we ride
gravelly.
with you?
And then the gentleman sitting on the front is like, "Please, yes."
Okay,
And
I just-
he slides over on the bench, making room for both of you
Okay.
on the front of this carriage.
I guess we're going for a ride.
I get a seat where I can see Ricard's body, and I just start
Are
praying
we-
to Bahamut.
Are we gonna inform Keedron, or are we just gonna hope Lathander tells him where we are?
Word gets around pretty quick in this town, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, sure. Fine. Let's go.
I don't want to break his concentration.
Sure. He doesn't need any more.
Did you see his eyes?
No, I did not.
Oh yeah, he was in the zone, man.
Okay, he doesn't need any more bad luck when it comes to communicating with
That's for
Lathander.
sure.
Oh, you said it.
Well, do we know that his amulet cracked?
What?
Okay, we did not.
When did that? Was I here? I had to have been here, but I don't know if I was.
So it's
Let's see
definitely
what
something that you guys would have seen, and especially the amount of distress that it caused him initially when it had taken place. But there's, his countenance, his feelings towards all of it have improved significantly since then. And so it's safe to say, or it would be safe for you to assume that there's been some kind of reparation that's happened, whether the actual amulet itself has been repaired through physical or divine means, or if there was some other confirmation of reparation. Yeah.
So, if you didn't notice it, Gideon's been going through a lot of trials.
Okay.
Um,
I don't want to. I don't want to interrupt if he gets anywhere closer to Lathander.
That's fair.
So, Ricard, as you kind of follow your way into this clearing, you find that as you reach the edge of the forest here, you're able to step onto solid ground again. And as you step on the solid ground, everything comes into focus. Absolutely, you you see as you're looking into the pool, the water has only come up to her waist. The top half of her is sticking up out of the water, and she's turned to face you. And she kind of beckons again as you begin to move through the clearing. What do you do now?
I'm gonna continue towards her.
Okay.
Just descending down into the pool.
Okay. So as you step down into the pool, you feel the water begin to kind of seep in through your clothing, et cetera, and it's a bit icy. Actually, it's a bit of an icy pool. Feels very cool, but you note though that it's not causing you any significant discomfort. It's very strange. It's a very strange feeling. It's almost like putting icy hot on a sore muscle. And so you make your way down into the pool and you approach her. And when you get to a distance from her that you feel comfortable with or whatever, she takes and she cups her hands into the water and she pulls her cupped hands out of the water, holding some of the water in it. And she looks at you and she says, in this dreamy, kind of ethereal voice, she says, I am not Mistra, but Mistra has sent me. Come and drink. And she tilts, kind of puts her hands up to her mouth like this, and she tilts back. And then she cups her hands in the water again, and then kind of holds them out, offering them to you.
So I take her hands and lean down and drink the water.
Okay. As you drink the water, it's almost as if the stonework that you're standing on is sucked out from beneath you, and you're dragged into the water underneath the surface. Everything begins to whirl. Suddenly, the vision of that is gone, and you're floating or falling, as it were, through blackness, seeing portions of your memory, seeing images of family, your grandfather, your uncle, you're seeing all of these images of various people, and you kind of see this ethereal line almost forming what kind of looks like or what could be kind of like a family tree or whatever. And you hear that woman's voice again, and she says, let your true self be revealed. And so you're kind of seeing these images and you feel that you're falling. Roland and Skodrick, as you guys are riding on this cart, you're moving through the city, and you kind of get the sense that you're moving back in the direction of where you guys had met the High Lady the last time. Roland, you would note that building to be the place that you and Atlas had gone in and met up with Ulfney the last time. And so as you guys are moving through the streets, you make perception checks. Make perception checks for me again, Skodrick and Roland. All right. And let me look at this. Oh, I keep forgetting. I'm leaning forward again. Da-da-da-da.
As I'm looking around, I'm putting my hand on where I believe Ricard's chest would be, and with a disgruntled look on my face while praying to Muhammad.
Okay. Roland, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Jesus.
Um,
Just sitting in a cart. Minding my own business. Holy shit. That's 6.
as you guys are looking around, you guys note you're passing one specific alleyway, an alleyway not far from where your destination is. So you've kind of gone down around. Let's see if you're coming from the stadium or whatever. You've gone down what is Calamaster Lane, as you guys have seen street signs passing through, and you've turned onto the Street of Silks. As you're passing one of the alleyways in the northmost portion of that first little block of buildings on the Street of Silks, you see a figure. A figure that's about 5'4", 5'5", with a hood pulled up over their head. And you see them raise a blowgun and shoot as you guys are passing. Roland, a small dart hits you in the arm.
Okay. Quick question.
Uh-huh.
Would that really be Constitution or would that have been Dexterity? If I saw it coming, if I saw them pull it up, wouldn't I be able to, if I was trying to avoid it?
And no, the
Oh,
Constitution save wasn't for your getting out of the way. As the dart hits you in the arm, your vision immediately goes black. Skondrick, Roland, sitting next to you, slumps forward all of a sudden. As you look at the dart, there is kind of now scrunched a bit what is apparently a very, very, very small piece of something that's been tied around it.
Around the dart?
Yeah.
All right. I slowly lay him down. Also slightly using him as cover so I don't get hit as well. And I take the dart out and I unravel it.
Okay. The guard who is riding along seems to have taken no note of the person standing in the alleyway or the dart that hit Roland's arm. And he kind of looks over and he's like, what's wrong with him?
I don't know. It's been a rough couple of days.
And he's like, huh. Kind of confusion on his face, and he just kind of quietens back down and continues riding. As you unravel this little this tiny scrunched, it turns out that it's a very, very, very rough kind of like piece of parchment, and this piece of parchment says on it, "I am here." And then it has the letter T.
Yeah, I got. I mean, I can't do anything. There's literally nothing I can do right now.
How long do these darts work? I mean, we know how long the darts.
I start slapping Roland in the face. Come on, get up.
Just out of character. How long is this like?
Yeah, it is. I do have that information. Give me a second. Let me go back here.
Get up. Come on. It's like there's got to be a better way to get in touch with us. It's like all the people that she can hit.
Let's see. Oh, it might be in my character specific notes. Hang on a second.
After watching Roland collapse and Ricard dead in front of him, he's just like
1 hour.
1 hour.
Yeah.
How long is the trip to this facility? We're almost there, right?
5 minutes.
Yeah, you basically were like, I don't know, 6 buildings down when you pass this alleyway.
I tucked the note in Roland's pocket.
Oh
God. Let's see. I want to see if I can do something. Probably can't. Nope, I can't.
Okay. So Ricard, you're kind of falling, and you kind of feel this. You feel this falling sensation begin to slow a bit, but the images fade entirely. You suddenly have this sense about you that you had not felt before. This assurance, something that it's something that you had known had been in your family for a while, but nobody has brought it to your attention directly, or nobody has come to you and said that you fall into this lineage. And then everything goes completely black again. So Skadric, as you, the cart comes to a halt in front of this building, and as you look, you see the same. There's this little like 2 or 3 foot high stone wall with the gate there, and you see the stone steps leading up to the front doorway. Now in the daylight, the building looks fairly average. It looks like the average, the house of an average noble person, I guess. As you're looking at it, it's not highly decorated. The hedges are kept well enough, but they're not cut in any kind of fancy designs or anything like that. As you guys make your way down off of the carriage, the guard sitting next to you is like, "Oh, well, let me help you with your buddy here," and kind of puts his hand under the one arm of Roland and begins to pull Roland down off of the bench. As you guys are doing this, the side doors of the carriages open. The rest of the guardsmen who were carrying Ricard before climb out. They go around at the back. They grab this quote unquote, or this makeshift stretcher that Ricard has been placed on, and they begin to kind of carry him towards this front door. One of the guardsmen gets to the front door and he knocks a specific number of times, and then he waits for a moment. As you guys are looking, or Skadric, as you're looking at the front of the building, you you can see into the windows, and you see on this first level the same basic setup that you saw before. As you're looking into the windows on the second floor, the room that you see inside of looks a little different than the last time you were there, and you do recall in location to the house that was in fact the room that you were in, but it seems to have taken on a bit of a different appearance. So the guard waits for a moment, another knock comes from the other side of the door, and then this guard knocks again. As he knocks again, the door swings open, and a man in this velvet red and black robes kind of beckons, and he says, "Hurry, hurry, inside." Um, the the guards all kind of make their way inside, taking Ricard rapidly, or whatever. And you see in the far corner of the building where the stairway is that leads up to the second floor, the High Lady is standing, and she's standing there, and she motions to you, and she says, "Please bring him upstairs." And she looks confused for a moment, and she looks at Roland's limp body being drugged by you and this other guard, and she says,
he's tired. Wink.
and she says, "Oh, very good." And then she allows the guards carrying Ricard's body to pass up the stairs, and then she.
Can you please tell me what is going on right now?
And she says, "In just a moment." And she comes over and she takes Ricard's other arm from the guard that's opposite him of you, and helps you to drag Ricard up the stairs. She, once inside, she's like, "Okay, we can lay him here." She then looks over at one of who you now see, one of three people that are standing in the room with her, also decoratively dressed. One of them moves over to Roland's body and kind of puts a hand on him. You see this bright golden and white light emanate from his hand into Roland.
Have I seen this light before?
It is something that you would recognize as a restorative spell of sorts. As he's doing this, Roland, you come to. You're now standing in this room. Now, as you guys have entered in this room, you remember before that the room was quite dark, that there was this glowy type mist that hung in the air. And as you look around, you recall that there weren't windows to the outside the last time that you stood in this room. Now, the room is brightly lit as the sun shines through the windows of the front of the house. You can see that the boards that formulate the floor have been very well taken care of, are clean, polished, smooth. There's a fireplace with an ornate mantle where these decorative dragon symbols kind of
what kind of dragon symbols?
Not ones of Tiamat.
Okay.
They kind of bend and twist out of the sides of the mantle, making their way down the sides of this fireplace. Across the mantle, you see there is hanging on a little stand this ornate string of pearls. You see there is like this painting that's kind of been set up on the mantle, leans against the wall. This painting's pretty an extravagant painting of what appears to be Waterdeep, rendered from a distance, as if the painter of this image painted Waterdeep. The rest of the room, there's this velveteen type couch that's pushed over across against the wall. There are these two chairs with high backs, with these little small tables on either side of them that are on either side of the fireplace. It's a very luxurious type room. You see one of the tables that are in the room, a rather large table that could sit between 8 and 10 people. This one table being very familiar. The two remaining people that were in the room previously sitting on the other side of the table. In the center of the table, you recognize this black stone pyramid that you recall having seen before. Though, as you remember, there was once light emanating from it, now there is not. It just seems to be this black stone pyramid. So the High Lady closes the door behind you guys. Roland, you now having come to, see the room as it is, and the High Lady says, "Please come and sit. We need to hide ourselves."
Quick question.
Uh-huh.
Oh, all right. Do I, based off of what they told me the last time they were here, because I wasn't with them,
right?
People in this room right now, are they the people that were on the council that they were talking about? Like, do any of them match the descriptions, or are these new individuals that we're seeing?
Right. These people match the descriptions of those that that they had described to you before.
Okay. And it's just those people?
Right.
It's not like any extra. Okay, so Ricard's parents aren't in here.
Right.
And Atlas isn't in here.
Right.
Okay. I'm immediately suspicious, but I'll go along with it for now.
Yeah. Once he wakes up, I say, I'm mouth. Pocket.
I'm gonna reach in my pocket. I didn't know I had pocket. Okay, anyway.
Look, man,
I'm like, oh, what's this?
There's other creases I could say, but I'm just gonna say pocket.
I'm gonna unroll it, read the note, and just sigh, just very loudly. Now you think that if she spoke to the High Lady and told her to convey a message to us, the High Lady would then tell us that she was here, so she wouldn't need to tell me this in a note. I do appreciate her trying to tell me directly, but I look at Skadrick. Why in the world would she shoot me with the dart?
I look at him as in the same state of confusion.
I mean, there was like three guards, perfectly good guards to shoot. You know what?
Are you saying this out loud? You're saying this?
Yeah, I'm saying it's to Skadrick. Yeah.
Oh God.
It's just, I'm not saying her name. I'm just saying,
sure,
he knows what I'm talking about. I just roll it back up, stick it back in my pocket, and just go along with what the High Lady was saying.
So the High Lady is like, she's still here. You know that she's still here. She was supposed to have left already.
What do you mean? She was supposed to have left? Where was she supposed to be?
Trollum, she was only given an opportunity to slip from the dragon cult for just a moment.
I love hearing that. I love it. I just okay.
She said that she would have to make it back quickly.
Let's just finish up here.
Yeah, this is like let's finish up here. I understand See a lot of stuff on our plate right now. We have like 6 different plates in front of us, and we're trying to spin them all at the same time.
If you can, just help our friend here that's dead on the fucking table.
Okay, whoa, Scodrick. Hey, you're dropping some serious words here for you. I mean,
he's yeah.
She looks at you guys and she says, she says, my apologies for not being clear and concise. She says, she says he should be coming to any minute now.
Pause. Just pause. I fucking knew it. I'm just saying, Scodrick, I fucking knew it. I wish
Scodrick didn't know it.
I just say I knew it. Also, fuck all of you. Like, do you know how much trauma you put Scodrick and possibly Keegan through in the last 2 minutes, in like the last hour or so? What's wrong with you? Like, why would you even need? Tony, there's too much happening.
I feel her in what Keedron's doing in the field.
As you're informing her of this, she moves back around the table and she sits down in one of the chairs, sliding up to the table. She reaches out to this stone pyramid that's sitting in the center of the table, and she moves her finger across it. As she does so, it begins to emanate this fog. And I think I'm echoing in Roland's microphone.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, bro. So it begins to emanate this fog. You guys see this what seems to be an illusory image suddenly cast in all directions, the room becoming dark, the windows vanishing, the elaborate furniture and decor vanishing also, the room becoming very plain, dark, the only light in the room now emanating from the top of this stone pyramid. There begins to fill in the room a familiar, especially to you, Scodrick, a familiar mist.
How deep are they embedded?
Ricard, you suddenly begin to come to.
You're muted.
Scodrick. Ricard, you're muted.
Oops. So as I'm coming to, can I try and control my breathing and not open my eyes, like not making any sudden movements? I just want to figure out where I'm at.
Sure.
Through the senses that I have by remaining completely still and
not
doing anything.
This is actually something you've been informed of prior to this happening.
I know. I just want to figure out who's there.
Oh,
can
yeah,
he
sure.
just hear me ranting and talking shit to this whole council? Like how the fuck did you guys think this was a good idea? Like, why would you not inform us as to what the fuck was going on? Like, how much of this was even a charade? Like, was the whole thing at the gate a charade? Was it just after you put us in prison? Like, what's happening? Why weren't we informed of this? Why is there this whole conspiracy?
Using thaumaturgy, Scaldrick's eyes are now pure white.
No.
Look at this. Scott just having a whole episode over here. Like, I don't know if he's gonna kill you or pass out. I don't know what's going on. But this is, and also, was Ricard in on this? Oh boy, if he was in on this, oh boy. You know what? Let's just hurry this up. Let's hurry this up.
Am I hearing all of this, DM?
Yes, absolutely. And then you hear the high lady pipe up, and she says, Ricard was not given all of the details.
But some.
She says, his understanding was that the intent was to make it appear as if he is dead.
guess mission accomplished on that. I mean, again, I had a feeling he wasn't, but Skodrick was like going into a whole episode back there.
Why didn't you tell us?
She says, unfortunately, we believe that there are still others in the council that don't belong.
But the
she
people in
says-
this room you trust.
She says, yes.
Okay.
And she says, we've had to pull a few strings.
Okay. Well, that's all well and good. I just have one question. Where's all of our shit? We need that back post haste.
At that
Right
point,
now.
I want to sit up and go, yeah, that would be a good question.
As soon as he sits up, I give him a big old bear hug.
I just sigh and I'm
I
just
kind of
like,
hug him back and I go,
You're alive!
look, if there would have been any way to warn y'all about this, I would have. I didn't know until after y'all were long gone. Being taken from the cell.
okay. All right. Oh, jeez. Yeah.
She says, so let us begin first with the most pressing matters and then begin to work our way down, and perhaps there will be some unraveling of details not given.
Okay. I would love to do that, but right now, I mean, you can ask anyone in our group here. I have some trust issues. And so right now, I'm not feeling too trusting of anyone in this room.
I'm going to look dead at Roland and go, Roland, right
No.
now, the people in this room
I
are
just
the only ones you can trust.
I just need one thing. I just need my shit back. Can you just give me my shit back?
That's what we're going to go do.
No, I need it back first.
That's what we're
Before
going
we
to
even
do.
say anything, just give me my shit.
That's
And
what we're going to go do.
the High Lady looks at you just dead-faced, and she says, if I had it, I would give it back to you.
Where is it?
She says, we are working on acquiring it.
Oh
She
my god.
DM, can I focus on my two weapons and summon them to my hands?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So
Oh,
the
look.
wand appears in my left hand and my blade appears in my right. Roland,
What
would you like to use this?
what do you
And I
mean?
hold, I hold out my sword to you.
I don't want the sword. Okay, I'm leaning to Ricard. I have valuable items and very lethal things. I would feel much safer in a city that I'm completely unaware of where the fuck anything is.
I
And
understand that.
I got shot with a dart like literally 5 minutes ago by apparently Trollum.
Get
Like
that.
apparently on a moving cart.
Wait, you did what?
I was gonna
You
say.
got shot. Trollam shot you with a dart.
On a moving cart. She never hits with that thing.
That's pretty
My,
good.
my luck right now is not that good. I need my shit.
She hit me in the face one time.
and now she's telling me that the shit that we gave her, she literally doesn't have.
She leans forward and she says, not the stuff that you gave to me, the stuff that you surrendered to the guard, who are controlled by the council. Those who, not all of which, we can trust. She says, I am in the process of acquisitioning and returning your equipment. That is part of the plan, though I have to do it inconspicuously so as not to draw, we'll say, attention from specific parties. She says, I understand your frustration, and we can talk about all of these things. She says, however, she says, I am going to need you to calm yourself.
Okay, I'm gonna take it from a 10 to a 5. Is that good? Okay.
She says,
but I must reiterate,
better.
and maybe just have a question. So you released us, right? You let us you pardoned us, essentially. We were walking around pretty much freely outside of the arena where I guess any kind of opposition that you guys would have seen us moving around freely. Like if they thought we were with Ricard, like
she says to you, I convinced the council that your penance would be paid with the death of a single member of your party. She says, the reason that Ricard stands here before you today is because not all those who were part of the execution were there to cast spells that would execute. They were there to protect. Though the council knows that not.
Okay, that's all well and good. But if we're essentially, like I said, pardoned, we're free to go. Shouldn't our stuff just be as simple as us walking in to wherever it's being kept and saying, "Yeah, give us our stuff"? Like, wouldn't they just give it back?
Well, that is a good question.
Like, we're not actually criminals anymore.
She says, yes, but this would be true if it weren't for what we believe to be the position of certain of the council.
You're killing me. You're killing me.
If what we believe is true about some of the council, and given the discovery of Erwin, we believe that it is possible.
Don't mention his name around Ricard.
I'm good. I'm good. Lord Dick Cheese is dead. Very, very dead.
Okay. Anyway, yeah.
She says, if their desire was to inspect and take for themselves, they would not relinquish your items. And given that it was the council's decision as to what was to happen to your things, their initial decision being for all of the party to have been executed, I convinced them that was otherwise unnecessary. They are still in possession of your cart of items. We are working to get those things back. Should we have removed them within their presence, it could have, we'll say, initiated consequences of a much more grand nature, which is what we're trying to prevent.
Again, understood. But if, let's say, 2 or 3 of the people in this room were to come with us to that facility and say, hey, give them their stuff, would they, I don't know, rebel against a good portion of the council in order to stop us from getting our stuff?
She said, it is very possible. However, she says,
wouldn't that tell you that they were not so good and we could just take them out then? No?
The original plan, she says, was for some of these people to have left post-execution. However, if certain persons, presumably still residing in the city, have in fact not returned to their position in and amongst the cult, it is likely that they are still present in the city also.
Okay. Can you give me the council member's name? Skaldrick breathes heavily, takes 1 deep breath. Give me their names of the council members.
She says, yes, of course.
It's not the same people, right? Like Zelta, Sarkin, Jetta, Dante.
Those are the people who are sitting with you now.
Okay, cool. Okay. Can you start with the one you think it seems most obvious to want to kill us?
There is one, Hayworth Riven. Hayworth Riven represents a position politically in and amongst the nobility of Waterdeep. Someone who has not been at the forefront of political movements in and among the city, but someone who does represent significant influence in and among certain circles. And if Hayworth Riven is a part of the Dragon Cult, and given some of the things that we've found with his behaviors, it is very likely. She says, there is a second, Elvin Ming. She, who was previously someone I had been working with myself, someone who was very well acquainted with
Erwin.
Yes, both Erwin and Serena.
Wait, your
She said,
handmaiden?
Yes, I was working with Elvin, and she was helping me to train my handmaiden in political matters.
Are we 100% sure that the handmaiden is on the up and up?
I'm not certain.
Gotcha.
Those are the two currently most obvious that we've found.
Thank you. Since there's nothing more we can do, I suggest we rest and wait this out. What about you guys?
I mean, you definitely need to rest because you apparently are tapped out, right?
I'm and exhausted.
That too, yeah. Yeah, you do that. Hopefully, no one busts in the room and tells us anything crazy
or
today.
Bahamut, I hope not.
Yeah, I mean, the next thing you know, Keaton's gonna bust in here and be like, "I talked to Lathander. We need to go back in time." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" Like, you don't have time for it. So while you do that, because I need a breather from all of this chaos, I'm gonna go shopping because I can go outside. Because I'm not a prisoner anymore. I'm gonna just take I'm gonna try to make sense of this experience and just need one thing to go not horribly. And before you ask how am I gonna pay for anything, I'm just gonna reach into my pants and pull out the bag of gold and be like, "Had this on me the whole time. Don't take my shit." And
I reach into my pocket and pull out my personal bag of 460 gold. I go, I'm right there with you. I understand, but
you had your gold on you the whole time.
Yes.
What happened to I'm giving myself up? The whole
I can't. I'm not going to use the gold to escape.
That's true.
I gave him everything else.
Well, I had some ideas about how to use the gold. You know what? I'm not going to tell you what those are. Leave that alone. But yeah, I'm going to go shopping. Anyone want to go shopping? I mean, Scott is going to sleep.
Might I make a suggestion on going shopping?
Yeah, sure. What's up?
I look at the High Lady and I assume we need to find somewhere safe to stay. Is this a safe place?
She says, so if you're going to come in and out, I prefer you use the door to the alleyway. But yes, this is, we'll call it a safe house, a haven that we've set aside. No one in the council except us knows about it.
We can. I like to go to my family shop and let them know I'm not actually dead.
Were they informed that he was killed, or
I'm sure word went by. It was a public execution.
Could you guys not have sent a message prior to the execution? I'm looking at the High Lady, like to maybe not give his mother a heart attack. You know what? You probably didn't.
My parents are probably not. My father's nowhere to not be here, and my grandparents are probably not here. They're probably in Silvery Moon.
So who's here? Just your mother?
Oh.
No.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So who? Wait. So who's here?
It'd be the friends of the family that run the Waterdeep
Oh.
shop.
Okay.
Based on what Ricard said
Yep.
before, is it safe to say like his mom is probably the Fey portion of his bloodline?
Are you asking me, or is this out of character?
It's out of character, just based on what we know from when you told us, and the way you just answered Roland's question.
I don't know that I ever told you what side of the family was.
You did not.
Fey.
You just said that you were half Fey.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm just assuming that it was
Well,
the mom's side.
yeah. Well, he doesn't really tell us anything about his dad. He just kind of said his dad was. He told us about his uncle.
That's fair. I'm just
His grandfather. He don't think he told us anything specifically about his father.
I said no. The people at the shop here should be Twitch, which is a little gnome girl that is the daughter of
Slide Echo.
Gemma.
Oh, that's my fault.
Gemma, and Twitch is a good person. And if she heard, she's going to get word to my grandparents, and I do not want either of them flying to Waterdeep to then find out that I am okay.
Flying?
Yeah. Just decide if you want to go to the shop. If you don't want to go to the shop, then I'll find another means to do it. But
Oh, I mean, you mean from like I was gonna ask if you could even leave here, seeing as how you're not technically supposed to be alive right now. Do you have a disguise or anything? Or...
That would be dangerous right now.
The High Lady says. The High Lady says, "Yes, we've accounted for this, understanding some of Ricard's contacts in Waterdeep, and we've decided that we will help in disguising you should you decide to wander about a bit. There's also going to be some of the guard of my personal guard watching closely to maintain assistance, aid, protection, also to be watching out for potential cultist activity in and among the city."
which I also can just DM. Do I? As I'm going to say this, I'm about to say that I could just cast invisibility on myself, and I kind of look for that magic within me. Do I notice anything different going on? Is everything working fine?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It's understood. Like you were given an understanding, like a revelation.
Check your messages, DM.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Okay. So, Scodrick, you're taking a nap or a long sleepy time.
Yeah, as when he asks, I'm taking off my armor. Whatever.
The hand motion, I was questioning what you were going to do. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so Ricard, are you going out with me or are you staying here? Are you trying to get a message to?
Yes. One second.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Out of game. 1 second.
Okay, carry on.
Okay. Yeah. You're going with me, or are you going to your shop? What were we doing?
Well, if my family shop, that's one of the things I deal in is goods, magic items, adventuring
Okay.
gear,
All right.
and
I'm
we
looking
might
for
be able to
something
get a
specific.
slightly better. Well, okay. What
Okay.
you looking for?
I need some winged boots.
That
Shouldn't
is
be
the
hard to
type of
find.
stuff they might have. Yeah.
Okay. I just need you to point me in the right direction. If they got it, that's great. You don't even have to give me a discount. Just don't rip me off.
Okay. So
I'm looking for some other stuff, but I'm not going to push my luck today. Oh God.
Yeah, just make a couple of. So what we can do, so we don't have to go through the specific details of like what shop you guys are walking into, et cetera. If you guys want, just make a couple of investigation checks. Like, let me know what it is you're looking for. In Waterdeep, I mean, it's it is like the center of trade on the Sword Coast, basically.
Awesome.
Waterdeep is like the Atlanta of Georgia.
Oh,
so
the only thing that matters in Georgia, according to everyone else.
So if there's something that you're looking for, it is likely that you will find it in Waterdeep. And if you don't find it at one shop, you'll likely find it at another.
Skodrick, did you want anything? Did you need anything? Shoulder to cry on. I can find you some companionship, maybe, if you're lonely, bro. No.
Look at my shield. I guess I can use a new shield if you can find one.
Okay. What kind of shield do you have now? Is it?
It's a regular. It's pretty beat up. Regular metal shield.
Okay. We'll see what we can do. Let's see. You think Kedron may need anything? I mean,
he just got that fancy sword. I don't know.
Oh yeah, he did get the sword. He did get that sword. Okay. And Atlas, he still has all his.
Yeah, he might need armor. We might need to find him.
He might, but I don't know if we out of character. Did we discuss if we needed a specialty type of armor, or did he just absorb it? It was some kind of conversation you guys were having about that. I'm not sure exactly.
What we gave him was cursed.
Oh, no, I know that part, but I think he was saying something about Warforged only being able to use certain types, or somehow it was going to.
So essentially, what happens with a Warforged is they put the armor on, and after an hour or something, it fuses to their body, and essentially becomes a part of their body.
Gotcha.
So it can be, whatever armor types he has proficiency with.
Which I don't know, I don't think.
And it'll just fuse to his body. That's what he was talking about.
I don't know if I can ask that out of character what armor classes he's or armor he's able to use. I mean, I don't think I know that.
I mean, he was able to wear that leather armor, so.
Sure. All right, I'll keep an eye out for that.
Do we want to venture out now, or do we all want to get a night's rest?
I don't need rest. I just need to. I need the day to make sense because it's still morning, isn't it? Like this kind of happened fast, from what I remember. Snuck out.
Yeah, it's only been a couple hours.
And then it was like 4 a.m. or something like that when we snuck out, and then.
So it's probably like the sun has already begun to rise in the sky. So.
Did you need to sleep, Ricard? I mean, you were asleep. I was asleep. We're all just asleep.
I'm not sure if almost dying counts as sleeping, but
just being drugged kind of sleeping. Got roofied by
not for the length of time that you were drugged in.
Okay.
I just would feel much better if we were all together. That's all.
I have no idea when Atlas and Keeter are going to be back. That's the only thing.
I thought, where did Atlas go? They were all with y'all.
Yeah, Atlas. Oh yeah, hi lady. Did you send Atlas a message? Because he's not here, and he said he got a message from me. They said they got a message from you. Oh God!
She looks for a moment and she says, "Yes,
okay, thank God.
His parents got word that he had returned to the city and wanted to speak to him."
Okay. Is there any way that you could let him know, like send someone to let him know that we're here and that this is, I guess, the meeting spot for us at the moment? And I guess if someone could go find Keedron, I mean, I'm assuming Skadric will just tell you exactly where he was. And just let him know. Don't disturb him. He's in the middle of a spiritual quest or something, right? I don't know anything about religion. So don't disturb him, but maybe like slip a note in his pocket or something, because we have pockets. And then or like leave it in front of him, just saying meet party here, and then he'll figure it out, I'm sure. Or we can wait till Skadric wakes up and then he can give him a message. I don't know. Whichever one seems more effective. Again, I don't know how long it's going to take him to commune with Lathander. Oh yeah, that's what he's doing, Ricard. He's communing with Lathander.
Okay.
Out in the open. In the middle of the street.
Cool.
Defenseless.
Hopefully he doesn't get run over.
Yeah, I know. Skadric kind of just left him back there.
He's fine.
You guys should have a lot of faith.
It wasn't in a street. It was in a field.
Much better.
Close to where you died, Ricard.
Oh, that's
okay. Why are we bringing up traumatic memories, man? What was that?
Because it just fucking happened.
I sense that you're upset.
The High Lady is sitting there and she says, "We have also commissioned or employed some other more morally ambiguous organizations who have a common goal or similar interests as what we have."
Referring to my associates, Phala and what's that guy's name again?
the gnome's name?
No. I'm talking about Phala and the guy. I have it written down in my notes. I keep forgetting his name. Crone?
He won the Twitch thing that we were doing.
Is that really what we did?
I think so.
Oh wow, okay. Well, congratulations to him. But yeah, so is that who she was referring to, or is she referring to Jimna? Because I don't think we ever made we never clarified that there was a connection directly between the High Lady and Jimna.
Is that an in character or out of character question?
So I guess I'm asking about Phala and
right. She says, I was going to mention that it was possible that there might be someone here who knows you.
That
you
could be
specifically, Roland.
They know me biblically?
It seems that's a possibility.
Okay, yes, Phala.
Skadric eyes just light up.
Anyway, before Skadric asks me any more questions and Ricard gets any ideas about asking me any questions, let's go shopping. Look out of here.
Oh, who's Phala?
I'll
yeah, you are going shopping together. I'm going to go sleep.
I'll explain it on the way. So you see, my finger was like halfway. No, okay.
I pull out a little notebook.
I'll tell you. You don't have to wait that long. I'll tell you on the way.
Okay, that works.
It's like that thing that Atlas was trying to do to the guard. So like, you don't know, or you do know?
Well, yeah, I cleaned
Okay.
them up after y'all
Gotcha.
left.
Well, not the exact
Prestidigitation, you know.
mechanics of that, but like we did stuff like
Like
that.
So you drugged her and then.
No, not the drugging part.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
there might have been drugs sometimes, but it was known. I'm not entirely sure.
It's consensual, is what you were trying to say.
She told me to try some mushrooms once. I was like, sure, why not? You know, and stuff happened. Anyway,
I thought y'all were going shopping.
we are. So what we're doing is we're walking and talking.
Okay, I'm crashing.
You didn't hear any of this, Scodrick.
Yep.
All right. So as I go out, I'm gonna go to cast invisibility, and nothing happens. I'm like,
got a cloak or something, bro?
no, I had the ingredients. I took them from. So I'm gonna start like searching through my mind, and
there definitely seems to be, as you're thinking about it, there definitely seems to be a change in how you feel in regards to your magical abilities.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lost your mojo, bro? What's going on?
It's not. So as he's saying that, I go to cast prestidigitation to kind of clean myself up from falling on the ground, all that stuff, and that works.
Okay.
Not. So now, like all my clothing, my armor's nice and clean. My clothing's, clean and straight. I'm like, no, it's not quite it. Can I roll an Arcana check, or should I just be able to know this, DM?
Well, you definitely have a sense, kind of like an instinctual feeling, that, and one of the things that was mentioned to you, that there might have been some side effects to what took place in order to make it appear as if you had been executed or whatever. You definitely had. There was definitely warning there. So, and as you're kind of searching through yourself, you begin to gain an understanding of the changes that have happened.
I kind of sigh and I go, I'm not a wizard anymore.
Lost. You're not a wizard, Harry?
Nope.
I'm sorry. Just made me think of something a book I read.
But no. Write that into canon.
I look at it and I go, I'm not Harry or a wizard.
Well, I mean, you got hair. I don't know about the rest of your body. I'm not gonna inspect you like Atlas or anything.
In the biblical sense?
No, like Atlas. Like for research.
I just kind of laugh and then I get kind of solemn again. And
but no, I mean, you just did the one thing with the made yourself look all nice and whatnot. What do you mean you're not a? What are you then?
Things are different. I've got to have time to figure it out. Right now, I know things aren't all wrong, but something's different.
I'm gonna give you my cloak, just to be safe. Just gonna hand that to you. Just say,
Do you have a disguise kit by any chance?
I do have a disguise kit, but I mean, what did you want? I can try to dye your hair real fast, but that might be, it's gonna run.
No. I can just use it to change some of my facial features. You know what?
Oh, can I do that?
You know what? Hold on.
I'm gonna give you an eye patch.
DM, can I? Let's see. Can I use? I should be able to use. To use prestidigitation.
Add some add a mark or something.
Like basically, I want to when I put the cloak on and pull it up over my head, just want to darken the cloak so you can't really see in it, like more than it is already natural.
Yeah, you can do that.
I should be able to do that with prestidigitation, right?
Yeah.
Let me. I'm like, I don't need to borrow your cloak, but I like the idea, and I pull it up over my head, and so just up to an hour, and I'll recast it if we go longer than that in travel DM. I'm just going to cast prestidigitation to just darken the inside of the hood so you can't really see in it. And when I pull the hood up, and I kind of wave my hand and mutter something under my breath in Elvish, and the hood inside of the hood just goes a little bit dark, and you can't see my face anymore.
Interesting.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
So I'm just holding my head down, and we'll head to my family's shop.
The High Lady looks and she says, I suppose you would like to continue our conversation at a later time.
Yeah, probably when everyone's here. I mean, just to save time on that.
Give us a couple of hours to get supplies, just in case the return of our items isn't as quick as we hope.
Yes.
How long before you should have something back on your contacts and retrieving those?
She says, if we don't have the items by nightfall, I would be quite surprised.
Okay, so you need to roll an investigation. That's what you said earlier.
Yes.
Okay. So investigation to.
So if there's specific items that you guys are looking for, you can just roll a couple of investigation checks. So we'll just basically, roll investigation with advantage, essentially. And what we'll do is we'll kind of combine everybody's roles. So if you guys are searching as a group, each individual is looking for their own things or whatever, but they're also kind of looking out for, you guys are looking out for each other, I imagine, too. Like
sure.
If I mentioned that I wanted to buy this, and it was like, oh, hey, I think I see a shop that might have what you're looking for, blah, blah, blah. And so I think that only on a series of very poor rolls would I consider, that the outcome would be different than that.
Okay, Ricard, how far is your family shop from here?
DM, I guess I can ask the High Lady, where exactly we're at, because we'll be exiting out in the alleyway, so it might be harder to figure out where we are.
So if you exit out in the alleyway only, the only exit to the alleyway is into the Street of Silks.
Okay.
Between the buildings.
Let me see. I am using the map, if that's cool, DM.
Yeah.
Just kind of as Ricard's middle notes, the Street of Silks.
For those of you who don't know which map he's talking about, I'm posting it into the group chat on Discord and on FB.
Oh, it's a lot of dots.
Okay. So it's a fairly long road. Where on the Street of Silks is it?
So it's going to be, I'll tell you, it's on the north
end.
Yep, it's the second to the last block on the north end of the Street of Silks.
Okay.
So in between Keltarn and Selduth, cross streets to the Streets of Silk. Yes.
Keltarn and Tharleon.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so I'll well, so the market is right here where we're at.
Okay.
However, my family's shop is down in the dock ward.
Dock ward. Is that south of here? Or?
Yeah, it'll be south of here, back closer to where we entered, but not anywhere. It's way off the beaten path.
Mm-hmm.
They largely, because Waterdeep gets so much traffic from the sea, they largely deal with adventurers coming in that way and people who specifically know us. So
Gotcha. So I mean, if you want, we can just spend a little bit of time here if we're already in the market, and then just head straight there.
sure.
Okay.
Either or. The markets usually pick up more in the afternoon, have more people there, right? So early in the morning, hopefully we won't stand out too much.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want to do it the other way around and see what?
I mean, I'm assuming we're gonna go from here to there and then come back to meet up with the group. So we're gonna come back through here again anyway, right? So
maybe we could hit the market when it's a little bit busier in the afternoon.
We could. Again, I mean, I just to like look around real fast, but I'm not sure exactly what the options are here or at your shop. That's why I'm trying to just make sure I look everywhere first. If they don't have something here now, I could come back and check again later if they don't have it here or at your shop.
Yeah.
But I don't want to miss a sale.
Of course. As far as my shop usually has a fairly unique mix. So
you call it your shop?
A family shop.
You're inheriting that shop?
It will probably be a long time before I inherit it, but sure.
Do you ever work in that shop?
I have worked in all of my family shops at some point.
Oh, so you used to work in retail. What's that like? just small talk as we go.
Which way are we going as we're walking? Are we heading to the market or are we heading south?
Oh, are they in opposite directions?
Yep.
Oh shit. I mean,
are you just kind of walking with me as we're talking?
Sure. I mean, I'll like.
If you are, then I'm walking south.
Okay. I was gonna go check the market for like maybe like 10 minutes and then like go back towards your family shop. But if you don't want to wait, then okay, I guess we're going to your family shop.
I'm just saying, if you didn't specify which one you wanted to go to first, Ricard would have just started walking and chatting with you.
No, I was taking into consideration that you probably wanted to get there soon because of the word of you dying.
I would appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wasn't.
Also,
if I went there,
if we find something at my family shop, we may be able to get the family discount instead of paying more at the market. That was my business sense.
What's the return policy? At not at your family shop, but just here. Okay. Is there a price match guarantee?
No, generally, if you've bought it, it's yours.
Shit. Okay.
Where have you been shopping where they let you bring stuff back after using it?
Oh, it's just a couple of places. I don't want to drop any names. Might be some issues with certain individuals on the black market there. But I mean,
I would imagine if you brought a proprietary item and it didn't work, I mean, surely they would replace it with one that did work. I would think if they were worth their salt.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you don't mind, can I just take 10 minutes, go look? I'll run through or something and just check and see if they have some stuff, and then I'll just come back, or you can come with me, and then I don't know how.
We can go around about. That's fine.
Okay. I haven't really seen much of the city outside of a cart, in a prison cell, so it's.
So I'll kind of double back down the alleyway and circle out and open up onto Bazaar Street. You see a little sign on the side, I'm sure, somewhere.
Bazaar Street.
Kind of point it out.
It's kind of on the nose there with the name.
That's,
easy to find for tourists. Yeah. I understand.
And kind of pointing at the long row of buildings to the left and all. And that's the the market.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take a quick look.
So I guess we both roll investigations, DM. Is that right?
Yeah. And do it with advantage or whatever.
Okay.
And
So
Squadron,
I'm
you as
looking.
well if you're going along.
Yeah, I'm. Godric, are you sleeping?
Oh yeah, you're
I'm
sleeping.
He's knocked out. Hopefully.
So I don't have anything other than a ring of spell storing and another bag of holding because apparently they blew up my bag of holding.
They can't repair that thing?
I mean, so here's fact. I don't know. We're talking in game. I don't know how they blew it up. It should have just stopped working, but they exploded it.
That's very
I
weird.
guess so many wizards casting it at once might have overloaded the weave.
I
don't know.
We haven't been the luckiest the last few days.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of any of this.
So what's the first thing you want? The key items you want to look for?
The wing boots, just to try to
with advantage. I roll.
Oh God, I need advantage. Oh God, I need advantage. Jesus Christ. Oh, thank God you got that 20. Wow. Absolutely terrible rolls. Okay. Jesus.
So Roland, given the fact that this is your first time, well, this is your first time.
I don't know what wing boots actually look like.
Through a city,
are they gloves?
The excitement is just like overwhelming, and so it's kind of like a kid with ADHD, you know, like. But yeah, right. Like, what's
wow, this is the biggest brothel I've ever seen. So much.
That's just a lingerie store, Roland. That's not actually a brothel.
What is lingerie?
That's what they wear at the brothel. You've been doing
They don't wear.
right?
They don't wear. They just have their clothes on, and you take them off, and there's something else.
You've been going to the wrong brothels. These are the nice ones that have they have something fancy on underneath.
Why would they? Why is that necessary? I mean,
it's like a preview of what you're buying.
A little mystique before you get to the prize.
It's like a peek at the prize.
Gotcha.
You don't get to see the whole prize. It's like you open the box and you see all the gold, and he's like, "No, okay, now let me see yours," you know, type of thing. You know.
I'll have to. Okay, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I was gonna say something crazy. Don't tell anyone. I was gonna mention maybe taking Trollum here. Maybe she already had some. Who knows?
Hey, there you go.
Who knows?
We're just having a talk about business.
Yeah. Freyla never wore anything like that, so I don't know much about any of that.
Sounds like you and Freyla was like a young wild thing.
Oh, she was. Which one of us is wilder? I'm not sure. She's definitely a handful. 2 handfuls. 2 very large handfuls.
Good.
And suddenly you hear a voice behind you. No, I'm just kidding.
So did we find anything with
a nat 20 and a 5?
Yeah, absolutely. You find everything that exactly as you're looking for it.
So hold on. There's this one spot right around the corner here, Roland, that we can check. That usually has stuff that's fresh in. You know, they don't get a lot of people jumping in and out, so they don't have stuff disappear quite as fast.
Gotcha. Did you give him that monocle that you had? Do you still have that on you?
That is one of the things I did keep on me because that's not going to help me escape.
You know what, Ricard? I'm starting to like you a lot more right now. You're doing a good job. Since this whole resurrection thing, I think you turned over a new leaf. Good job.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if I was really going to fight to escape, I kind of pat my hilt of my rapier. I'm like,
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, why would he just let them kill him? It makes no sense. He could have just summoned the wand of fireballs and blew everyone up.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. I went there with the full intent of if they decided to do that, then I was going to let them, as long as they let y'all go. You don't.
I don't believe it. Anyway, let's go. No insight check. She's just like, fuck it, I don't believe it.
So for the record, DM, that like literally all my rings are gone. The only things I kept on me was my bag of gold and my monocle.
Okay.
And I don't think I took my armor off. I think we
No,
kept our armor,
you
didn't
kept
we?
your armor on. Yeah, they
Yeah.
didn't require you to remove armor.
Yeah.
So
So my pseudo dragon just sitting on my shoulder, chilling out, and we'll bebop into the. Is this one like a trade
Wait.
tent, or is it like a caravan, or is it a shop that we bebop into where we find this stuff?
so it's a variation of all of those. There's like one kind of small shop on the corner that has a few things and one of the items that you need. As you're passing by, there's like a trade caravan that has like a rug set out, who have a few things. One of the things you do take note of that you come across, that seems to have or seems to be particularly interesting. You know that there's one, as you're looking through magic items or whatever, in one of the shops. Now this particular shop has like a darker demeanor to it. You see this leather bound tome. Essentially, it's a large tome, and it has an ominous eye on the cover of it, in the center of the cover. The leather of the tome seems to have been sewn together. The stitching obvious all along the edges, and on the tome, there seems to be beneath the surface uh, some tentacli that are writhing about. Uh,
Do I see Ricard looking at this? Because I'm assuming I didn't see that, right? Or maybe I do. I don't know.
Yeah. Can I roll?
make a perception check to see
Can I
if it's
roll an Arcana or a History on it? Which would be better?
Arcana.
Arcana check on it.
Yep.
I'm assuming I don't see him looking at that.
You see him looking at this large tome, but you don't see the specifications of the tome itself.
I do see this dark black book, though, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
So, what do I know about it, DM?
So as you're kind of, searching your mind for the possibilities of what magic this particular tome has, you you've heard of object. Well, you've even seen objects imbued with specific characteristics, so as to create a specific result. Obviously, as all magic items are, but sometimes those intentions or objectives are outside the bounds of simply elemental magics. And in this case, there are some. The cover of it, especially, is reminiscent of some of the darker and more evil gods and goddesses that you would have known, or know about, rather, not known, but know about. And the sense that you get from it is it is definitely intended to do harm. It's definitely something that, especially when a tome or a book of this nature is created, um, a lot of times the magic side of it uh, are released when the book is opened or read.
Meaning, it strikes
Like
out at the user, or the magics are used when that happens.
uh, both.
Okay.
Yeah, there's typically some sort of striking out, and if there's a magical reaction, something that affects physiologically a creature, that those types of magic also would be initiated upon the opening or reading of the book.
So while I'm in here, I want to have my monocle in. So how much is it worth?
So this particular item is worth probably 6,500 gold pieces.
Okay.
You eyeing that book there?
I would stay away from it. Very far away.
Cursed or something? Because
something like that. I would stay.
You don't have to tell me. I already had my fair share of that shit. So
as you guys are looking at it, the shop owner kind of looks over at you guys, and she stands up, this tall, lanky woman who almost appears skeletal, very skeletal, almost as if someone took a human skeleton and threw it into a skin sack. And she kind of
description.
Walks up and yep, she walks up, she stands up and then kind of glides over to where you guys are, almost as if she's not really walking, though she is. She just kind of carries herself that way, and she says, "This is a very interesting find." She says, "Would you like to see what it does?"
Nope, we're fine. We don't want anything to do with it.
Not particularly. You can tell me.
Just gonna stand back.
When you open this book, it sprouts some tentacli into a specific, let's say, circumference that will restrain and bludgeon those who are in the space.
Very nice. Very nice.
Nice.
I don't suppose. What all were we looking for, Roland? I know
some winged boots, preferably not cursed.
I mean, I don't think we'll buy them if they are cursed.
Yes, we won't. But preferably not cursed.
And she's like, then you'll want to see the gentleman next door.
Oh, thank you for that. Okay. Just gonna get the fuck out of here.
So after searching around for a little while, you guys find the items that you're looking for.
Okay. What are Ricard? If we're looking at them, like Ricard, what? How much would these
prices,
go for?
Winged boots, and what else?
If we're looking for a shield or something for, a shield for Skodrick, if we can find that, and then possible armor for Atlas.
Okay.
Well, let's just get the hardest thing to find first, and
okay, I guess that would be the boots.
The boots, I imagine, would be the hardest to find. Yeah.
What kind of shop is it? I guess that we're in.
So the winged boots are going to run you 500 gold.
Okie dokie. All right. Just going to reach into my pants. I'm going to say, Ricard, you got any haggling capabilities? Is anybody in this town they haggle at all?
I mean, sure, you can. It's a market.
Okay.
It's part of the business.
Okay. Is a gentleman who's owning this shop, or is it?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, fine, sir. What is your name? Quickly creates a character.
He says, well, my name is Nuddison. I am Nuddison.
Nuddison?
Nuddison Julius Omar Wissing the Third. Nuddison.
Madison. Okay.
Madison Julius Omar Wissing the Third.
Okay, I'm not gonna. I'm sorry. I'm not very good with multiple names. I would.
So we could just call him Sir Whizzing, right? Yes.
Sir Whizzing.
Yes, that would work. Yes.
Okay, Sir Whizzing. How much would you be willing to or how much would these boots be?
500 gold is what the
500 gold?
Yes, 500 gold is what
Any chance you'd be willing to maybe sell them for less, maybe for an arrangement of sorts, or?
How much less are you thinking, sir?
Can I assist with a persuasion roll?
Well, I'm gonna lean over to Ricard and be like, "What's a
Sure.
good discount for me?"
How much you got on you?
I got like 900.
I mean, usually it's like if you offer 5% less, that's usually not insulting. 10% is possible. 20% is out of the question most times.
I'm gonna go 10. I'm gonna go 10. I'm gonna start high, and then we'll. Okay. 50 gold less.
So
450.
450.
450. That's not too bad. I think. Let's see. Yes, I think I could do 450. I think that would be fine.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm not. You know what? I'm not gonna push my luck today. I'm gonna go ahead and just give you the gold. just gonna give it to him.
Oh, thank you. And he takes the gold and he like kind of waddles over to this chest behind his counter.
Oh, is he a shorter guy?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. You remind me of another shop owner I know.
Do you?
Just shorter.
You know many shop owners? Is that a thing that you do?
I know one rather well.
Oh, do you?
Yes. I'm not gonna get into it. It's a long story.
Let's.
Now you've intrigued me.
Well, I mean, there's no reason to get into it. You probably don't know who it is. It's just I haven't been to shop in a while actually, so this is kind of a.
Oh, okay.
Reminding me of that.
Oh, well, yes, I'm sure I'll probably remind you of many shop owners.
I haven't met many recently. That's what I'm saying. So that's what. Yeah.
You don't frequent shops?
I did before some stuff happened, and then that stuff happened, and then some dragons and some wolf heads and other things.
Experience with wolf heads and dragons.
Some purple worm venom poison and all sorts of craziness. It's just my life the last few months have been whirlwind.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
You said pepper worm venom? You had
we had a
worm venom?
Yeah, we stumbled across a whole barrel full actually.
You did?
Yeah.
And what have you done? What have you done with it?
I mean, are you interested in it?
No, I mean, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be inquiring.
Well, I mean, we don't technically have it on us at the moment, but we do know of the person who did have it, and we can maybe, give you their name. You can maybe find them and contact them yourself, maybe work out a deal.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay. Yes.
But in order for that to happen, this is a business arrangement at that point, so I'm going to need another 50 gold knocked off the price. That's just the usual rate.
Don't insult me, sir.
I'm not insulting you. We own a business. It's called
I'm a shop owner, not some sort of cheap whore.
No. I'm not cheap whore. Again, we have our own business. We're the Doncasters. Okay, we procure different things. We provide our services whenever needed. In this case, we are essentially working as a middleman between you and another merchant.
What kind of services is this you provide?
We will, if we need something killed, that's not human, something not good or decent, we'll typically take care of that. Do we kill tiefling?
Yeah, you kill tieflings?
We haven't killed any. Well, we did kill that one, I believe, in Ophni's cellar. That was a tiefling, right? That bard.
Come and find me tomorrow. I might have a job for you, young man.
This is it's just a kind of I like rub my thumb across my throat, kind of one of those.
If that's the way I want to handle it, then possibly yes.
I mean, yeah, again, 50-50 gold. We'll see what we can do.
Come to me tomorrow.
Okay, you know what? We'll see. We have a lot on our plate right now. What's your name, sir? Oh yeah, you told me already, sir Wizard. I'm sorry. I'm having a great 48 hours. Yeah, I know your name. I'm sorry. As I said, we were just in.
Wizard the Third.
Yes, Sir Wizard the Third. Yes. Having quite the weekend. I don't know if it's the weekend. The last 2 days have been rough. But yeah, I will try to get back with you tomorrow. If not, I will have one of my associates contact you via telepathy or a physical message, and then we'll sort that out. Yeah, what's up,
Roland? Just pay for boots, man.
Oh yeah, I already gave him the gold for that. It's just
okay.
We got to set stuff up for future.
Have fun, Mr. Roland.
Oh yeah. Yes, you too, sir. Yeah. All right. As we step out of the shop, I'm just gonna put the boots on.
Okay.
Do I need to attune to these, or is it something that? Okay.
They do require attunement.
Is that long rest, or just a whole day?
Short rest. I thought.
Short rest.
I believe that it is a short rest. Let me see. I'll look it up and get back to you. Okay. What were the other items you were looking for?
So hold on just 1 second.
Just 1 second.
Yeah, so the shield for Skadrick.
Okay. What kind of shield specifically?
Let's see. What would I know about? I guess. Do I know about uncommon items or anything? Like, was there a certain? I would know about most of the uncommon items, or would I not know about them? If I was looking for something specific, so I'm not entirely sure.
No, I mean, your character definitely would have some familiarity with a wide diversity of items. You know that items can be imbued with various types of magic, can be enchanted with. You know that there are items made of all various sorts of metals and metal crystal combinations, et cetera. So there's definitely a significant amount of variation there that you would know about.
Okay. A sentinel shield? Is that something you could look for? Keep an eye out for?
Certainly. Okay. Real quick before we carry on, it is midnight. Did you guys want to wrap up here? Do people need to get up early?
I'm good, but I don't know.
I do need to get up early, but we can be upset about that.
Okay. Yeah. Play for how much longer? You said.
That's it's up to you, DM.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I don't mind playing for at least like another hour, maybe. You guys want to break real quick, grab some snacks, et cetera, et cetera? I think it would be a bad idea.
Yeah.
And then before we reinitiate gameplay, essentially, we'll finish talking about the items you guys want to purchase.
Okay.
Cool. All right, yeah, so we're going to take a small break real quick. For those of you in the Twitch stream, thank you guys for jumping in, checking us out, taking a look at us. Hope you guys are having fun. We're going to take a brief intermission here to grab snacks, use the restroom, et cetera, et cetera. If you guys have any questions, you want to reach out to us, this is a good time to chat. So we'll be on break for a few minutes. Cool. I will be right back.
All right. We'll go ahead and put us on the be right back scene, but we will still answer your questions if you have any.
we're back. Thank you guys. Sorry about the little intermission there. Had to get some coffee. You know, it's late. So, sweet. Hope everybody's doing pretty well. All right. So we were just talking about what items you guys wanted to purchase. So we got the winged boots, a sentinel shield for Scottish.
If we're just making the list.
Yeah, let's just go through a list real quick.
Luckstone, just go ahead and throw that on there. And
let's see.
at some point we actually need to buy potions, but we don't have all of our shit, so that might have to go on the wait list for the next day.
A Lux Stone, you said?
Yeah,
Luckstone.
Okay.
I was looking for a ring of spell storing and another bag of holding. Because I assume they're not going to fix the one they blew up. Unless it's fine.
Maybe they'll be generous and just give us one. Maybe
they'll be generous and I can just
maybe the council looks at the DM who will be generous and just give us one.
But I think I was looking for boots. Boots of elven kind, I think I was looking for. Yeah.
Okay.
But most of the stuff, I don't have as much money as Roland does, so I was trying to wait and look for my stuff at my family shop, which maybe we'll get to at a later date.
If I had my fucking stuff, I could just check it. Just pawn off. I got a whole platinum statue. Like, what the fuck? You can melt this thing down. Just chop off a hand and just like, hey, here you go. Here's that much in platinum.
I can make some cool stuff out of it. I mean, I'm not here.
All right, so winged boots, sentinel shield for Skadric, Luckstone, ring of spell storing, and possibly another bag of holding, boots of elven kind. And that was it.
For now, I mean, I'm assuming the other members will have something that they might want to get later when we meet back up with them. But
sure,
this is all we would know about it, I
think. Cool. Okay. I mean, just a moment. I'm gonna look up some of this stuff. And
I want to ask Ricard something real fast.
Yeah, go for it.
Hey, Ricard.
Yeah.
If you're not a wizard, how do you explain the pseudo dragon there? How's that still here?
Well,
actually, the pseudo dragon, quote unquote, disapparated upon Ricard's quote unquote death.
Okay.
So it vanished from existence, and he has not tried.
It vanished from existence?
Or well, at least from
this plane.
Right.
So when I snapped to bring it back in, it didn't come back?
That was a weird thing that just happened.
Yeah.
It was.
So you said something, and it was like.
So when I snapped to bring the pseudo dragon back, it didn't come back?
Seemingly.
Oh.
Yeah, it does not appear. Like you snap for the pseudo dragon and come back, and it does not appear.
So I guess I ask you summon your pseudo dragon and you try and it doesn't work. I don't know. We just retcon that.
I guess so.
We'll get you another one.
So I go to cast a spell to find familiar, and I can still cast it.
Yep.
So apparently I'm going to murder people.
Oh no. Wait, so you can summon a familiar, just not your pseudo dragon?
Apparently I'm going to have to recall her.
How did that work again?
It's going to work by me killing people. That's how it's going to work.
Oh, who are we killing?
I haven't decided yet.
Okay, I'm just gonna vanish into the background, so I'm not and eye shots when you make that list.
Pew. Pew.
Scotcher gets woken by a bunch of like explosions in the marketplace.
Very possible.
And it's like, what's that? Someone seems to be launching fireballs all throughout the marketplace. Like,
So
oh,
I'm going to as soon as I realize, as I say that, I'm going to stop and go to cast Summon Familiar
Okay,
to try to recall Linares.
sure. And as you do,
Ding.
so you start casting the spell, and sorry, I gotta stop looking. I'll look for those in a minute. Yeah, so you go through, you begin to go through casting the spell. And are you ritual casting, or are you just going to?
No,
Okay.
I'm literally going to hurriedly look at the shopkeep, throw 10 gold on the counter, and go, I need charcoal, incense, herbs,
the whole
brass beer now.
And the shopkeeper's like, okay, oh yes, just, give me just a moment. And then he begins kind of meandering around the shop, kind of, but with hastily moving around the shop. And he says,
Andrew get my foot in his ass.
he says, one moment, please. I've got to step across the street. I'll be right back. Watch the shop for me if you don't mind.
No problem.
And he steps out, and you see him kind of work his way across the street over to where there's an herbalist shop, and then he is in there for a little while, and then he comes back and pops back through the door, and he's like, "Here you are." And
just for the record, you instead of you just pointing us to the herbalist shop, you just decided to become the middleman there.
well, he just had me the gold, and he seemed
Yeah, it's fine. I
quite
understand.
intent on.
I understand.
Right. Okay. That's not a sudden. Withing the third. And he procures all the various items that you need in order to cast that.
10 gold. I turn around and sit on the floor, prestidigitation, light a fire, and cast a spell.
Sure. And the shopkeeper is just like watching, and with a look of entertainment on his face. And as your various components and things begin to mix and burn, and you're going through the motions and saying the words that you need to, you see like these particles of what appear to be like particles of light begin to gather, and as they begin to gather, they gather in the vague shape of how your pseudo dragon was shaped. And they gather for a moment, and then there's a pop, and the loud pop, all of the light vanishes, and for a moment there's nothing, and then your pseudo dragon flashes back into existence.
So for that split second, you literally see absolute horror cross over Ricard's face.
I just felt Ricard's spiritual pressure like just rise to like the point where I thought like the whole town was gonna blow up, and then it just kind of settled, and I was like, okay, all right, don't have a dagger to stab
I'm just sitting on the floor.
Like dark energy just came into the room,
like petting Lana's head. I'm just like, it's okay, everything's all right.
Skadrick, make a percentile roll for me.
Okay.
My God, you're still exhausted despite the fact that you it's.
I mean, he's sleeping. Okay. While you're sleeping, you're having dreams, and they start out, the same way that the dreams that you typically have. Any of the good dreams that Skadrick might typically have, with familiarity to them, the various the various components of the dreams that kind of touch the senses are pleasant to you. The smells are nice, the feelings of being around people you love, etc. And then you note in one of your dreams, you see off in the distance. So you find yourself standing on a hilltop, and you're on this hilltop, and the area is like rolling hills, and your family is there with you, your siblings and your parents and everything. You're looking over the rolling hills, and off in the distance you see the silhouette of who you know well to be Bahamut. And you see the silhouette of Bahamut, and then you see off in the distance a second silhouette emerge from the horizon, and the second silhouette, being the same size as Bahamut, except bearing 5 heads, comes to stand equally to Bahamut. And then, as you're watching, the one head of Bahamut, you see the silhouette of Bahamut stand like rear back on his back legs and slash, severing one of the 5 heads. As you see this, one of the 4 remaining heads strikes at the neck of the other silhouette. Just as the strike happens, the imagery, the vision vanishes. And then you wake up.
What does this mean?
But did he get a full rest? That's the only thing we need to know.
Roll a constant. No. He got a full
please.
rest.
Okay.
He got a full rest. Yeah,
Wait,
you're
so
fully
it's been 8
rested.
hours?
So you guys haven't been in the shops for 8 hours.
Okay.
So that would have just been his span of time as he experienced it.
Gotcha.
So I actually feel like this would not be a terrible place to pause and end our session if you guys are okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Cool. Okay, yeah, cool. So for those of you on Twitch, thank you guys so much for joining us. I apologize for my camera angle. I hope to have that remedied for the next session. Every time I lean forward, I dip myself out of the camera, which sucks. I'm just using a different camera this time. So outside of that, we have definitely increased, thanks to, especially thanks to Van, who's playing Ricard, and as well as the hard work that some of our guys are putting in, especially Ron, who is Skadrick over there. we've been increasing our streaming, and we've definitely got a lot of things in the work. I was going to let you guys know that I am on the verge of, or was on the verge of being complete with the or being finished with the intro song. But then started talking to a couple of folks who have some musical talents and some much better recording equipment. And now have planned out for Monday, hopefully, a full production.
Oh wow!
So I hope to have the song done by end of day Monday for the intro. Anyway, so you folks on Twitch, look forward to that. And we're going to be making patches pretty soon. So if you guys want a patch, hit us up. Let us know. There are links on our Twitch channel to our YouTube and Facebook page, as well as oh no, maybe that's just it. It's just the YouTube and Facebook page, right?
And Twitter.
And Twitter, right. So hit us up on Facebook, Twitter. Check us out on YouTube as well.
They're all down there.
We're going to have patches of our battle cry or die symbol coming out hopefully pretty soon, not too far down the road here. So super excited. Let us know what you guys like. Let us know what you don't like. Let us know what you want to see more of. We're absolutely all about some critical criticism. And thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Have a good one.
Have a good night.
Cheers.